Hi, I'm Carlene, and this is Carlene Tonight. Hi, I'm Carlene, and this is Carlene Tonight. We're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to do a segment on Grenada and Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Carlene, and I have with me in studio Kerron.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello. For everyone who does not know you, can you say your last name? I've been having issues with people with last names that begin with an S. You are another one.
It's schullere.
Schullere. Anyways, what's the origin of your last name?
Whew, that's a loaded one. So as far as my father has told me, the origins are of a German sailor. So I think last name is German in origin. I've spoken to people from France, and they say that it's French. So I guess it's a mixture of French and German sort of a thing. So yeah, there you have it.
I did not know that. I just learned something new, and I've known you for a long time. I mean, for those who are tuning in, I know Kerron because he dated someone that I know. We're not going to mention any names, but that's how we know each other.
Yeah.
and, yeah, we haven't talked to each other like ongoing for all the years we've known each other. It's just that I ran into you at Dufferin Mall. For those of you that live in Toronto and know Dufferin Mall, like that mall, I hate going through that mall, Kerron. I'm always running into someone either from high school or someone I'm trying
That's the best mall ever.
It is the best mall. Like, you know what? I spent a lot of time in that mall growing up. I'm sure you did too, right? You went to St. Mary's?
Yep, I did. Yeah. And then basically every lunch break was spent at that mall.
Me too. That was like the hangout spot, right? Oh my gosh. It's so funny. Yeah. I mean, I hung out there every lunchtime too. Like it was always about Toonie Tuesday. Like, do I have enough money to get myself a Toonie?
Oh man, I had too many Toonie Tuesdays. I remember at one point I had it so many times that I got sick. I threw up after eating it once, and I was like, okay, never again. Swore off of it ever since then. Yeah, at that mall too. Yeah.
I know. I've had so many instances at that mall. Oh my gosh, and it's changed over the years. And my history is I went to every school in that area. I went to Brock Public School. I don't know if anyone knows that. That's at Brock in college. Then I went to Pauline Public School. And then I went to Kent, which is now closed. I remember when they had the reunion. And then I went to Bloor. But you are on a different path. I mean, you went to Kent, which is not Kent. Sorry. You went to St. Mary's, which is a Catholic school. So that's a whole different jurisdiction. Like, I guess more in like the way that you were taught, right? Because I mean, you had to take different courses because of your religion.
Exactly. Yeah. And then also St. Anthony's, which is right there too, all within that area.
Oh, okay. You went to St. Anthony's as well. Okay. What grades did you go to when you were like, what's middle school or?
I came to Canada in grade 6. So that's what. So from 6 on to grade, I guess it's 8. Yeah. And then 9 at St. Mary's. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, it's interesting. This month is Black History Month. So I guess I could talk a little bit about that. But, for those that don't know Kerron, he is an actor. Like he's been acting for a long time. And he is also... I'm sure you're working on a few things, right? You told me you're working on a podcast as well.
I am. Yeah, that's the What's Good, What's Cracking podcast. Yeah, and it's on Spotify as well, and Apple.
For those listening,
yep.
And how is your listenership going on with your podcast?
Oh, it's very good. We just recently passed 1,000 downloads, and we're on episode 12 right now. So yeah, we're doing well.
You're doing well. You're ahead of the game. For me, I think I've got 400 downloads. I'm at episode 25, I believe. This is my 25th episode. And I think maybe the people you're working with obviously have a larger audience base, right? They know a lot more people.
Yeah, we haven't really as well started like pushing it as well. So yeah, but it's a group of 5 of us. So I give a little bit of context to it. It's 5 of us. We obviously give our own little points of views. I don't speak as much because I'm the one manning the board. I'm engineering, I'm recording, I'm doing everything else. But the rest of the guys just go at it. They give their view and their perspective on things that are happening in the world, as well as mainly trying to focus on a lot of stuff that's happening with Canada and the Caribbean.
Oh,
a lot of entertainment, politics, and everything.
sorry, I cut you off there. So where you said in the Caribbean, so.
Yeah. So with us, so it's obviously, like I said, 5 of us. We've got one gentleman from Jamaica, three of us, sorry, born in Trinidad, and another is Canadian with Trinidadian parentage or background. So we've got a fairly like a mix, but a different perspective, obviously, from all the islands. Because one of our guys, he's been on tour around the world as a dancer for Masha Montano, so he has a perspective on everyone and contacts throughout all the Caribbean countries. So he gets information as well from them, and we try to dedicate a little part of each podcast delivering news about the Caribbean and what's happening in conjunction with everything else that's happening around the world. Right?
Oh my goodness. So I feel like I definitely have to network with you guys because this is the time, right? Our online presence is more important now than any other time. And networking is so crucial because I feel like when things reopen and we are able to travel, I know everyone misses travel. I mean, we're not even going to be able to travel. I don't even know if we'll be able to travel at the end of April. Like they're not banning travel, but they're making it very difficult with all these rules and restrictions and the cost, like when you think about it, right? Like, I mean, to go, I don't even, can you travel to Trinidad right now?
No, I was actually supposed to go down in November of last year, but I couldn't because obviously everything else was happening. When you get there, they want you to quarantine for 2 weeks, which I have no problems doing. But at the same time, no, I've got stuff over here. I've got auditions and stuff. I'm not staying down there for 2 weeks, quarantining and all, and then come back here and quarantine again, right?
Yeah. All the quarantine is killing your vacation time, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
although it did occur to me, and maybe I should go down there and work remotely.
Oh, you can't? Well, I mean, that's an idea. I know a lot of people that consider doing that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go down there and work remotely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's an idea. I have my old roommate. She got me into a lot of the Trinidadian culture, and we used to order from Juperdi's all the time. I'm sure you're familiar with them. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Trinidad. I mean, are you following the numbers down there?
I know they were doing really well. So I sort of stopped following them for some odd reason. I know Canada sort of placed the restriction on travel to and from there. But really the third world countries and all the Caribbean countries have been doing well with COVID, right? So, I mean, even Grenada is doing well too, like in terms of restricting isolating and treating anyone and making sure the numbers don't increase, right? They've been doing pretty well.
Oh, they have. Oh my gosh. I talked to my aunt and I talk to her like all the time. And from day one, they have put like a nail on this. Like they have made sure that they put a curfew in place. Like my aunt was telling me at one point, my grandmother too, that you cannot go to the beach after 11. So they had a curfew for the beach. So you couldn't go to Grand Beach after 11 o'clock in the morning. So you can only go from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m., which is really tight when you think about it. My grandmother lives really close to the beach. And then they put curfews on the grocery store. At one point, it was like every other day. So you can go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so they were really tight with their restrictions.
That doesn't make sense because at the same time, if you're limiting people to that small window, there's going to be more people on the beach interacting with each other, sadly. And that just sort of forces or could increase the spread if people are not social distancing and all that stuff like that. But
yeah. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. My grandmother told me when she's been going down, she hasn't been seeing a lot of people at the beach. For her, it's very strange because, I mean, Grenada's beach is like one of the most popular beaches to go to in Grenada. Like if you're going to Grenada, like you're going to Grenada's beach. I mean, there's so many hotels down there too. And I mean, we're talking about Grenada, but I mean, you are like in the best of both worlds because you said growing up, you lived in, Trinidad first for a little bit, and then you lived in Grenada as well, right?
Correct. Yeah. I went to Grenada when I was about 6 or 7, and I stayed in Grenada from Standard 1 all the way up to Standard 5, basically. Yeah. Did my common entrance and everything. So yeah.
Oh my God, when you talk about that, it's so foreign for me. Like I only understand it when I talk to my sister or my cousin because I was like, standard one. I'm like, is that grade one? You know, like what's the North American terms, right?
Basically, yeah. I mean, yeah, standards equals grade. But at that time as well, Grenada's education system is we're still following the British education system in the Caribbean and stuff like that. But Grenada's standard of education is higher than what's here in Canada. So when I came here, after finishing common entrance and everything, I passed my common entrance, was graduated to go to GSS, which is in Grenville. And when I came here, I ended up doing an exam to skip 2 grades. Because of my age, time I was born in the year, and 2, because of the quality of education. So I could have leaped 2 grades up because of the standard of education in the Caribbean. And I think that's why they did a little bit of an adjustment here as well, right? So
if we're talking Grenada and their education system, Grenada's medical school, SGU, is one of the top in North America. A lot of people from the US go down there, and it's well known. I mean, because like you said, they follow the British system. And so it makes you like you can transition well, I guess, once you graduate from SGU. You can use your skills in, I guess, England and in the US, wherever you plan to start looking for employment, wherever you go, right?
Canada too.
Canada as well.
Too. I know a couple of people. Yeah, I know a couple of people who are in the medical school down there. Yeah. My uncle, actually, he went to med school in Grenada. And now he's working on a clinic in Grenada. But unfortunately, I think COVID has probably put a little hold on that. He's been working on it for a while now. And it seems like there's a lot of legal stuff going back and forth when you are opening a clinic in Grenada. Like it's not as easy as it sounds, but I think, you know, everyone like knows him and stuff. So he's definitely put his mark there because he did his med school and then he went on to study and to become a cardiologist, right? So, yeah. But I mean, when I was doing my research, I learned so much about St. George's University. I mean, I've been there. It's a beautiful university, but I didn't know how popular it was. And apparently Canada, like we advertise a lot for the university. I remember like going on transit, I'm like, oh my God, SGU, you know? So, and I tell my aunt too, you know, very small island, but we have a little bit going on for us, you know? Yeah.
So wait a minute. I have a question. So do you consider yourself more of a Grenadian or a Trinidadian? Like, I mean, you've lived both places.
I consider myself a citizen of Earth.
That's a good one.
Like, I don't know. Like, I was born in Trinidad. So if anybody says where you're from, I say if they say where you're born, I'll say I'm born in Trinidad. But you know, if they get into like, oh, your background, then it's different. Obviously, I'll rep both countries when it comes down to it. But I'll more so go with Trinidad because I'm born in Trinidad, right? So where I'm from is where you're born. Where you're from is where you're born, right? So
yeah, that's true. For me, I'm Grenadian. I was born in Grenada. And I left like you. I left when I was so young. I was 6. I don't have a lot of memories in Grenada because I've been in Canada most of my life like you have, right? And so it's one of those things. And, you know, it's always good to go back to your roots, obviously, go back to the place you were born to visit your family. I'm sure you do that as well. I know last year weren't you in Trinidad last year?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I went down for a funeral, right? But yeah, I was down there exactly at Carnival, too. That's the crazy part. But yeah, I was down there for yeah.
Oh, so you went down for like personal reason. It wasn't really a vacation. Okay.
No, it wasn't a vacation.
I mean, needless to say, you do go down fairly often, right?
Yeah, I do. I've been down. Actually, last year I went down twice right before COVID. I also went Grenada too as well. So I got to see Grenada for a couple days, and I went back. So I usually like to go to Trinidad, then go to Grenada for a couple of days, and go back to Trinidad and come back, sort of split my time, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not a long flight when you think about it, right?
No, it's like half an hour.
I know. That's like, I miss travel. I haven't been to Grenada in forever. So, I mean, it's different for me. So I definitely have to go down there when I can. We're talking about like Grenada, Trinidad, but I think we should talk about like your career, your acting career. Like you've been acting since when?
Probably since grade 10 or 11.
Right. So that's a long time to commit to this thing, right?
Yeah, on and off more so because I was doing a lot of stunts as well, right? A lot of fights and stuff like that in films. And recently I've said, okay, you know what? I've got to take this a little bit more seriously and stay more focused on it.
Yeah, definitely. For those who are venturing into this arena called acting, I think it's a little bit more challenging now because of the pandemic. I know a lot of people, I think like you told me, there's a lot of voice work now. But as far as acting,
Yep.
Are you still getting a lot of auditions now because of the pandemic? Like, how is it working out?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a good question, actually. Yeah, a lot of us are still getting work. There are a lot of self-tapes and Zoom auditions, which quite frankly is more nerve-wracking than going in person. I prefer to actually go in person than do a Zoom audition. But yeah, no, they're still getting some work. And when they're on set, when you get a role, they're following COVID protocols where they're doing rapid testing. So that way you get tested, you find out within 10 to 20 minutes if you're positive or not. And then you're wearing masks on set up until when you're about to film. And then you remove your mask and everyone else behind the camera is wearing a mask and a face shield, right? So it is pretty strict, and I give all the credit to ACTRA and the whole film industry and everyone else who's part of it for staying on top of it and making sure everyone's safe. It's hats off to them.
Yeah, I mean, all the protocols in place, because I mean, when you think about it, like every facet of life in terms of like group gatherings, like when you're on set, when you go to a concert, when you go to the movie theater, like all these places where there's so many people, and now it's like we're keeping our distance, right? So I'm sure this has changed the way that we interact with each other. And I mean, maybe in a year from now, I still think that like it's going to be an adjustment period. Don't you think? I mean, like this is like, I'm tired of the cliche saying this is the new normal, but when things get back to some kind of normal, don't you feel like, how do you think this is going to change going forward? Like from your perspective as an
No, I do think some of these things are going to be in place going forward. Yeah. Like, for example, I guess with auditions, maybe they'll do a lot more self-taping auditions and stuff like that. I guess one of the downsides is when we're going out for roles, they may or may not, I'm not sure, I'm not in the writer's table or behind the scenes, but they may or may not include as many actors as you would normally do. So not many, as we call day players, or, those people that come in for someone that would come in for like a one-liner or something like that, which is also cool. But at the same time, they're missing that opportunity to go in, right, and do their thing. So I don't know if that's true. I've heard rumors of that, but I don't know if it's specifically true. Because again, I'm not in the background with those people who are making those decisions. Mm-hmm. But I do think a lot of this stuff is gonna carry over, and we'll see what happens. It's going to be an adjustment period for sure. For sure, it's going to be an adjustment. I'm
Carlene, and this is Carlene Tonight. We have with us in studio Kerron. I'm not going to say your last name. I'm going to try. Also, for those that want to follow you on social media, how do we find you? Are you you're all over the web, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm all over, but I guess the best way is IG. So kerron.s, kerron.s on Instagram. That's the easiest way. And it's pretty easy to spell that.
And then I think the last thing that you were in that was pretty popular, what was the name of that movie again? I think I forgot the name. Remind everyone who's listening.
Oh, yeah, that's the Clark sisters. So that
Clark
was
sisters. Yeah. I think I should watch it. I mean, like it is Black History Month, and we'll promote it because obviously there's a lot of heavy hitters in that film too, right? You got to work with some interesting people.
Yeah. It was produced by Queen Latifah, Mary J. Blige, and Missy Elliott, and it was an outstanding cast of actors as well too, right? So it was amazing, and those girls can sing. So yeah, you got to watch it if you haven't watched it. I agree.
And where can we watch it? Can you watch it on Amazon Prime? Where, like, if I want to watch it tonight or weekend?
Right now I'm not sure. I can probably look into it. I know when it did premiere, it was on Lifetime. I'm not sure if it's on Amazon.
I know
you don't. Oh, okay.
Well, you know what? It's hard to get Lifetime unless you have cable. And we are a digital age where everyone now is watching Netflix. We're watching Crave TV and all these using other platforms to watch TV shows, but not cable TV is not a popular thing anymore. I don't know. Do you have cable?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Basic, but I got it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not, some people have basic cable. I mean, I took it off. I might put it back on again if this lockdown measure continues on. I mean, but yeah, I just been using Netflix, and then if I want to watch a certain show, I'll go on their website, like City TV. I watch the show on there. But Lifetime, that network itself, it's I mean, you can have Lifetime, and then obviously they show it at that time. But I mean, after post-production and they show it on Lifetime, I'm pretty sure you should be able to watch the Clark Sisters online somewhere or just rent the movie. You know what I mean? So when did it come out?
It came out last year spring. I believe, last year spring. I know it's got nominated for a bunch of awards, like Critical Choice Award and a bunch of stuff. But it came out last spring. What
are your plans for this year, 2021?
2021, just to, I guess, be a better person, get some more, advance myself in the acting world, and get some more roles, and eventually just be better and be better to others and to myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
not any big goals,
For sure. I know it's really hard, isn't it, to set huge goals or anything right now. I mean, I think it's like every day you're planning for every day, right? You're planning for. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I don't really plan for next month because I can't even, I don't know about you, but like your birthday just passed. And like for me too, my birthday's coming up in April, and I don't even know if I'm going to be in lockdown again on my birthday. Like, you know what I mean? Like all these things, we're still like unsure.
I'm hopefully for your birthday, there's no lockdown, but the way we're going, who knows? Like,
I'm going to bring down the torch. I'm like going to, I'm just kidding when I say this. I don't know. We're just going to have to make some moves or something, So the Clark Sisters, it came out. Oh my God, Kerron. The Clark Sisters was out on April 11th, which is on my birthday, ironic enough, on Lifetime. That's when it came out.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we have a good cast in this one. If you have not seen this film, check it out. Kerron he's in the movie, so you'll get to see his face if you don't know who he is. We have a great cast here. We have Anjanae Ellis. I don't know if I said her name right. She's well known.
Yeah, Anjanae Ellis, yeah. Oh, yeah, she's very well known. She's an amazing actress, too.
Yeah, Damar Barnes. He's also with the talent agency that you're with. And Michael Xavier, I know him as well. Ronnie Rowe, oh my goodness. Ronnie Rowe has some... We have quite a few people that I recognize on the roster, Kerron. Saad Siddiqui, I know him as well. And wow, there we go. Very interesting. I didn't even realize how many people are cast from the talent agency. I won't say the name, but
a lot of Canadian talent on that one as well, right?
Do.
A lot of Canadian talent on that one.
We have a lot of Canadian talent, and it's good. And we hope for the best for you for this year. And see how your auditions go and see what happens for you. And, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I know. It's great. And then hopefully we'll have you back and we can talk a little bit more about the podcast and just, see how things are going in the world. I mean, like you said, Grenada, the case count, I just looked it up. They're only at it's right now, it's at 100. Like they've only had 100 cases.
Yeah, like I said, the Caribbean has been doing a decent job. Like I know the only country I heard that sort of got messed up recently was Barbados, because there's one like party bus that was driving around the country and one person was infected and it just went around and infected everyone else.
This is Carlene Tonight, and we have for you our favorite artist, Altered by Mom, Dewey.
I guess all of the things I could never say are things that I can sing. I guess all of the things I could never do were important to you.
Baby, do we keep on being friends? Baby, do we keep on being friends? Baby, do we keep on being friends?
am Carlene, and this is Carlene Tonight. Thanks for tuning in. That was Altered by Mom, Dewey.
Every time I see you, I usually say hey. My feelings blow a bubble, I float away. I look for an exit I usually can't find. My body doesn't listen and tries to hide. If we're gonna talk about it, I want you to know that you can throw it out, you can break it up, you can do what you want with my heart, babe. Just bring it back. You can keep it safe, you can hold it close, you can do what you want with my heart, babe. Just bring it back to me, to me. You can do what you want with my heart, babe. Just bring it back to me. Tomorrow if I saw you, I'd smile and move on. Even though my heart is breaking, when I sing the song, I blocked all your profiles. Now why'd I do that? I don't want your attention. Let's avoid the past. If we're gonna try to forget, I want you to know that you can throw it out, you can break it up, you can do what you want with my heart, babe. Just bring it back. You can keep it safe, you can hold it close, you can do what you want with my heart, babe. Just bring it back to me. You can throw it out, you can break it up, you can do what you want with my heart, babe. Just bring it back. You can keep it safe, you can hold it close, you can do what you want with my heart, babe. Just bring it back. You can choose to stay, you can run away, you can do what you want with my heart, babe. Just bring it back to me.
Hi, I'm Carlene, and I'm in studio with Kerron, and he's been acting since he was in grade 10. It's crazy. Long time. So we were just talking about Grenada and cases in the Caribbean, and I just looked it up. So as far as the numbers are concerned, Grenada, we only have 4 active cases right now, and the total confirmed cases 148,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the numbers are really low. There's only been 1 death, which is good, and only 6 people hospitalized. And when you compare that to the rest of the world.
No, it sounds about right, especially because of the population as well. So, but I mean, at the same time, like I said, the Caribbean has been doing a better job of like controlling this than
We don't
all
have
the
people
major
coming in. I mean, I should look up Trinidad as well, just to give a perspective, right? Let's see. Cases. So Trinidad's population is obviously, we can't even compare. Like, really? Comparing Trinidad and Tobago to Grenada? Like, I mean, it's not really a fair comparison. I'd have to compare Grenada to maybe like Bermuda, which is still smaller than Grenada when you think about it. Bermuda is 65,000 people. Like, it's probably gone up a little bit more from when I went, but their numbers are, population of Trinidad is what, over a million?
Like 1.2.
1.2,
Yeah, 1.2
right?
million or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking now, 7,578 cases, 134 deaths. So, I mean, obviously they've contained it. I remember watching the video when the Prime Minister?
Yes.
Of Trinidad? Yeah, where he was announcing that, Carnival's canceled. Like, he canceled it early on. Like, they were, and that's,
Yeah.
for Trinidad, right? That's a big deal because
Oh, yeah.
that's their moneymaker.
Yeah, so that's the thing that people know Trinidad for, Carnival, right? So yeah.
I mean, what else is Trinidad known for? I mean, you're born there and you've been there a few times. What else? For those who are missing travel and plan to travel in the future, like what are the best things you can do in Trinidad?
Well, if you are going to Trinidad, I'd say Trinidad is more of now turned into more of an eco-tourism country, where there's a lot of wildlife and forestry and stuff you can explore. The beaches obviously are nice. Not as nice as Grenada. Grenada has some beautiful beaches. If you're going to Trinidad for beaches, you probably want to go to Tobago, where there's there's resorts and stuff like that, and waterfalls, hiking, bird sanctuaries, all that other stuff is located in Tobago.
Yeah, Tobago, I spent more time there when I went to visit in 2019. And I love Pigeon Point. Like, it's a gorgeous beach. If I had to compare, Granads to Pigeon Point, like it's very nice as well. Like, you know what I mean? And so that's definitely a highlight for me. I spent more time at that beach. I only spent like a day in Trinidad. So I haven't been able to give Trinidad a fair comparison to see, and a lot of people who don't know this, but Trinidad and Tobago are two separate islands. And it's like night and day when you think about it, right?
Yeah, Trinidad is not a tourist country, right? They make their money from oil and pitch and all that stuff like that, right? They're not a tourism country. Tobago is where they sort of market people to go for tourism.
Right.
So that's why the loss of Carnival is like, Carnival is the main thing people would fly to Trinidad for, right? So it's like, other than business, because Trinidad is like Trinidad is the business hub of the Caribbean. So that's why it's more, they're not really concerned with a lot of tourism stuff, but tourism is more pushed towards Tobago and all the other Caribbean countries.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I think for me, if I go back again, like you said, it's not known for the beaches. And I went to Maracas Bay, which is the main beach when you go to Trinidad, obviously. The sand is not the same. It's a smaller beach. But I mean, when you go there, apparently you have to have bacon shark. And, my brother took me when I was visiting him, and I actually did not realize he said bacon shark. I'm like, bacon shark, what? So when I got my bacon shark, I was like, what? This is shark meat? I didn't even realize, But that's a very popular thing when you go down there, have to have your bacon shark.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go Maracas Beach and have your bacon shark.
Definitely, and you definitely have to have some roti when you go to Trinidad. I had some great roti, right? Lots of good food. Doubles, yes, doubles, and what else is there? Palau. I don't know if you can get a good palau at some restaurant. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you can. Like the food in Trinidad and Grenada and the Caribbean is amazing. You get huge portions for basically the same price or less as what you pay for here. So it's there's no way to compare the food in terms of that. Did you try when you were down there? Did you try the national dish? Do you know what the national dish is of Trinidad?
I don't know the national dish. Do tell? I don't think I know.
It's crab and callaloo.
Really? I didn't know that. Crab and callaloo.
Callaloo crab, yeah.
Oh. Do you know the national
crab.
dish of Grenada?
Yeah, well done.
Well, you know your stuff. Well, excuse me, Kerron.
It's food, it's food.
The best of both worlds.
I'm there.
He's like, Carlene, I can't go down to Grenada and not know. Let's do a little quiz. What is another beach in Grenada? Do you know any other beaches?
Paradise Beach.
Okay. All
Brenda.
right. Mm-hmm. There's also, have you been to Batway Beach?
I have, yes.
Yes, okay. I know there's a lot of beaches in Grenada. Yeah.
I just threw a beach out that nobody would already know. That's why it's a
You know what? It's so funny that you said that. So I've been doing my research and I said to my aunt, I was like, how come you never take me there? Paradise Beach is a nice beach. It's actually close to Grenada, like the airport in Grenada. Like it's not that far. So is that the one?
No, this is one in Grenville.
Oh, okay. You know what I'm thinking of? You said Paradise Beach. So here's another beach. It's called Magazine Beach. And that is close to the airport. Beautiful beach too, actually. Definitely have to check that out when I go back home. But because my grandmother's house is right by Grand Anne's Beach. So I'm just like, Granny, never sell the house, please. Because that's like prime real estate, when you think about it. But it's so cool to talk about back home. And I think missing travel. Like that's something that's definitely in our minds. Like a lot of us would love to just get on a plane right now and go somewhere warm. I think because February is like the coldest month out of the year. I feel it is. It's always been cold in February, where I remember going away and coming back and the wind chill was insane. Mind you, here in Toronto, it's not as cold as other provinces in Canada, but it's still cold nonetheless, right?
Oh yeah, it's still cold.
Yeah. So
I'm
I
still
think
feeling the effects. Anything below -1 is cold. Or below 0. All right.
I know, right? Because it's always like when you're talking to your family back home, they're like, "Oh, how's the weather?" You know, because they know how cold it is here. But, you know, we had a pretty good winter. I can't complain. I think we got snow for Christmas and we got snow. But what do you think about this winter so far?
I don't know, because, again, is it good because we're sort of indoors a lot? So we're not really experiencing what it's actually like. So you got to look at it from that perspective as well.
That's so true.
So is that the reason why it's good? Because, or, you know, you're not saying, oh, it's super cold, because it has been, especially for the past couple of days or weeks, it's been pretty cold. Like, what was it, just last week? I think it was -15 or so. So
yeah. Actually, that was a bitter cold day. I only went out for a little bit that day and I was just like, yeah, I'm going back inside. Just running out quick to do whatever I needed to do and then come back inside, right? So for sure. You're right, though. Like it is cabin fever at the end of the day. I think we're all feeling that cabin fever where you're not really going out as much unless you have a job that requires you to go into work, right? And are you working from home? You are working from home, aren't you?
Me? Yeah, I am. Yeah.
So you only go out really for essentials, or unless you're going outside for a walk. I don't know, to just get some fresh
air. Try to get a walk in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's mainly just to pick up groceries and come back. That's about it.
Yeah. But this is great to have you on the show. Kerron, say your last name for me again.
Schullere.
Yeah. Oh my God, Schullere, right? Kerron Schullere? Did I say right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kerron Schullere. You can follow him on Instagram. Tell us again, what is it?
Kerron.s. So S is in Sam.
Mm-hmm. And if you have not seen the Clark sisters, please do. They sound amazing. And he's in the movie and you can look out for him. I'm Carlene. This is Carlene Tonight. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being our guest, Kerron. It was good to talk to you about the Caribbean, you know?
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Thank you again. Thanks for having me. And I can come back on at any time. Just let me know.
Yes, of course. We'll have you back. We'll talk some more. Definitely. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you.